What's going on, you guys? Sitting here in Baltimore, Maryland today. Just thought I'd share a quick story with you. So, and this is going back to actually something I mentioned in my driver fail video that I posted yesterday about not trusting your Qualcomm or GPS. Always keep your eyes open and aware, and trust your instincts. Don't just listen to the GPS. Don't just listen to the Qualcomm directions, because it can get you in trouble. Ultimately, you're the one that's responsible for that truck, and you're the one that's supposed to be the truck driver. So we brought a load in, and we got here early in the morning, about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and it wasn't due till 10. And so there was plenty of street parking around the receiver that we were going to. But so we were able to come in and skip all the traffic and avoid all that, and which is always lovely, especially around Baltimore and DC and these areas like that. It's just super congested. So pretty much I put in directions to go to like the only TA that's in Baltimore. If anybody's been around here, that you know what TA I'm talking about. It's got paid parking. It's got like a big 5-story building that the TA's in. I think it has a hotel inside of it, pretty much. But yeah, we were going to go there. So, it takes me down some fairly good roads, and there's a lot of train tracks that run through here, so they have a lot of train bridges and stuff like that, and they're the old school, like, concrete archway, for support, and the trains running over them. So I turned down a few streets. They're all 4-lane roads, good wide big roads, and I'm paying attention. All of a sudden, in 4 lanes of traffic, a 4-lane with a grass concrete curb, but it's grass in the middle median. And I get up to it, I start seeing it, I see the sign that says 13-0. And I'm like, oh, crap. Here we go. So I suddenly, literally have no place to turn around whatsoever. And which was a problem. So obviously I throw on my hazards immediately. And I'm like, I didn't freak out. I'm just like, oh, here, is this going to be that time that I actually have to call the cops to come hold traffic up to let me turn around somehow? And I'm like, oh, here we go. So what happened was I get, turn on my hazards, and I look, and about the time that I stop, I see that behind a few more cars coming, there's a break in traffic. And I look in my driver's side mirror, and there is a break in the median for people to turn around. There isn't really a turnaround spot, but there's a break there for me to at least get the truck through. So I had to, as soon as that lull in traffic hit, I just started backing up, and I went in the far lane to the side from the median. I went as quick as I possibly could, because I don't think I was going to have much of a break in traffic. So I backed up real quick, and immediately when I got back, one car was coming. I let him go around me real quick before I made a turn, and I pretty much had to turn the truck through the break in the median and let the trailer, and I was empty. I just had to let the trailer go up and ride over the median to get out of there. That was pretty much my only way out, unless I had maybe had to call an officer to come out and hold up traffic for me to back up, do a 90 into a side road, and then turn around somehow. But I mean, really, I'd had to still find a spot in the median like that and just let the trailer ride over it, which was no big deal. It's just a little bitty curb and some flat earth in it with grass in it. So with that being said, it could have turned out a lot worse. And, I'm glad that I was able to get out of there. So the reason I'm doing this video, the title of the video, is to talk about what it's like team driving with your spouse. Now, I'm doing my part of the video as far as this is my perspective on it. Laura could do it her perspective later, or then after that, we could do it together and talk about it as a couple. We have done a few videos, but I thought this would be a better breakdown of it. So started off how we got into team driving. I came to PTL as a new driver. I went to school in Knoxville, Tennessee at Tennessee Truck Driving School for 3 weeks. Graduated and got my CDL, came to PTL. I went out with a trainer for a while, which another thing about PTL, you can pick your trainer. So, I hung out a short time. I wasn't too specific about who it was. I just want to make sure they were had been doing it for a while, had experience, and had plenty enough experience themselves. And I went out and focused on what I had to get done, and that was driving. And did that. Went out as a team with a P2 partner, which is another trainee that's already completed their first part of their training. Went out for a little while and came out as a single seat driver. And as soon as I got my single seat, that's when Laura came out with me and was a passenger for about 8 months as I was a single seat driver, as we prepared her to get in school. We had some obstacles we had to overcome before she was able to get in school, and during that time she was able to learn a lot about trucking and the ins and out of my job. So when she came in the long run, she was already very well seasoned. So that helped her on the non-driving aspect of it. Then when it came to the driving aspect of it, they let me train her and get her out here as my teammate. And pretty much once she came to PTL after she finished school, like, she just came straight in a truck. We just went through a teaming phase where she was doing most of driving, and I was sitting with her and staying up all day and teaching her everything and making sure she was driving just fine, which she turned out to be a great driver. And that was, led us to being team drivers together. Now, being a couple as team drivers, it has its benefits, and sometimes there's things that you have to learn in a relationship that if you don't have certain habits with each other, that it could turn out to be tough. But we were already used to being around each other a lot, and we weren't married when we started driving as a team. We had been together for quite some time. We did get along, and we still get along wonderful. And in the long run, I can say that it's made our relationship so much better. We are much better. We're much closer to one another, and that is only because we made a promise and a vow to each other. And pretty much our saying was that after a year, we wanted to get married, but we said if we can team drive for a solid year together and we haven't killed each other in the long run, and then we'll get married. But what happened was that it made our relationship, like I said, 100 times better. We learned how to give each other. We learned a lot of patience, is what it really truly boils down to. You have to learn patience with one another, especially if you're going to be around each other 24/7. Now we do get our breaks as far as being away from each other, like as far as one's in a sleeper at the time while the other one's driving, but you're still around each other. You still have to deal with each other. So what we did, we learned how to, like, if something was irritating us, is first of all, try your best to keep it, like, not have a attitude towards the other person was one thing we tried to work on. Even if you're upset about something, we learned how to communicate a lot better. And we also, with the patience thing, learned how to, even if the other person did happen to be snappy about something, we learned how to kind of overlook it and be understanding, because there's going to be days that you're irritated. First of all, truck driving in itself and being involved in dealing with traffic and all the things you have to deal with as a truck driver can irritate you. And sometimes you just might accidentally, or and not realize it and take it out on the other person. So we had to be more understanding about that. Um, we also had to learn how to say, or just say, I'm sorry, also, if something happened, as far as you were the one that might have been a little bit snappy to the other person. Um, just make it, realize that you were in the wrong. So there's a lot of things, not only as a couple, that it's helped us with, but as our own individuals, helped us with being like more patient and more understanding type people. Um, our love grew for one another during this whole experience, and it's nothing but gotten better and continue to get better. We have our moments, and especially one thing I'll talk about at the very beginning of it. We went through a kind of a build up, and then had our little, it wasn't a blow up, but you can say we had our moment where everything came to a head about irritability, and then we talked to each other, and that was before we started teaming, and that's when we decided to say, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do this right. And that's when we said, look, if we can, in the next year, if we can build our relationship and everything and get better, and this doesn't cause us to separate, we'll get married. And that's exactly what happened. And we got married on April 1st of this year, on April Fool's Day, which fits us perfectly because we like to make jokes and stuff like that. But, as far as that goes, I just wanted to do a little quick video about how being, a couple in trucking can be very tough on each other, but it don't have to be. And if you learn how to be understanding and patient and forgiving, and also be the one who needs to apologize and things like that, if you learn how to do those things and each of you can do it, then you'll get along just fine. If another thing, if you're also helpful with one another, like, there's situations that, because I've driven longer than her, that she feels a little bit more uncomfortable about trying to do, or there might be a type of hurry situation where she needs a little bit more help with maybe a backing up situation, and I do not care to have her wake me up and ask for help anytime. You have to be able to want to help each other out. There's times where I've had to wake her up to be able to spot for me, because it was just a really tight, tough situation. And I'd rather have somebody spotting for me than trying to take a long time to get out and look 100 times and, inch my way into it to make sure I'm not going to hit anything. It's easier to have somebody spot. So, I want to do this video. So, I know that I haven't really had a video that I've done or we've done that kind of breaks it down into that. And, I think she'll do a video, kind of her side explaining it. And there's a lot of that I know she'll feel exactly the same way about, because we agreed on that, and started that from the beginning. And that's what we planned out. And our plan came through, and it's continued to do nothing but grow. And I think that, like I said, if everybody that's interested in teaming with their wife or significant other can learn how to do that, then I think you will be successful at it. And I think you got a good career ahead of you. You do make better money. That's very much known. We work for PTL, and I can say, as a team driver for PTL, we make a very good living. Also, both of our paychecks combined together, and we make a good living. I'm lucky for my situation. We didn't come from. I come from like a good place in life. We both rebuilt our lives together, and I'm very fortunate. I love my wife, and she loves me very much. And I'm so blessed to be on the road and spending this time and enjoying life with her here by my side. Now, everybody, tonight our Halloween's Tater and Patty Halloween special premieres at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you could, go check it out. it's a hoot. It's just our shot at our try of making a short film. I think everybody will like it. Go check that out. Also, if you haven't subscribed and you're new here, please go down below and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, go down and comment. I will respond to your comments, and I think here soon I'm going to start reading some comments back, because I get some really funny stuff sometimes, and I get really great comments, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. You know, Wandering Nomad, he made a comment the other day about the quality of the videos I put out, not quality as in the technicalities of the quality, like the phone quality, but I mean the quality of the information, like or what I'm doing, or like what kind of video. It was on the driver fill video, and I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate everybody else's wonderful comments. If you haven't checked out Wandering Nomad, go check his channel out. Also, my buddy Michael Semi Truck Driver, really good friend of mine. Go check his channel out. He's been driving for 20 years, has wonderful wonderful content. He's very, very knowledgeable about driving truck. Another YouTube trucker you should go check out is Trucker B. He has great news content over there on his channel, and also he just did a video yesterday. His dad had some serious health issues and had a heart attack and stuff, and everybody came together and gave him help, and they did a thank you video that was just touched my heart, man. It was really cool. Yeah, go check his channel out. Also, Mark from Trucking Answers on YouTube. He has great news videos. He does content. He releases videos during the week, and he also does a live feed on Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that he runs for quite some time. And you can go in there and ask any kind of questions you want to. Another YouTube trucking that does good videos is Dread Pirate Trucker. He does trucking news videos, and he's pretty steady with them, and he's a very funny guy. But his news videos are great content. Also, Trucking with Kiersey. She's growing real quick. She's going to pass me up real quick. Yeah, that's great though. She does good videos. Very informative, very good type of she's got that branding going on. She's straight to the point, doing it right, which is something I'm trying to work on with my channel. Also, let's see, anybody else I mentioned? Oh, what I was going to say, those people that I've mentioned, if you want to go check out their channel, they're actually in the description below. Don't forget to go check them out. Well, everybody, that does it for my video today. Sorry it was a little long. I just really wanted to get into that. So you know how it goes. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your work week. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe out there. We got some storms moving through the East Coast today. Some embedded tornadoes. You got some severe gusty winds going on. So if you're running anywhere up through right over on the east side of Virginia, anywhere from New York State all the way down to South Carolina, later this evening, afternoon, be careful. You will encounter some storms and some pretty gusty winds. So once again, be safe out there, everybody, and happy trails!